Lords, first oral question, Baroness Benjamin.
I beg leave to ask the question standing in my name on the order paper.
The Online Safety Act requires services to use highly effective age assurance to prevent children in the UK from encountering harmful content. Ofcom's guidance makes clear that age assurance must be robust to prevent circumvention. Services must also take steps to mitigate against circumvention methods that are easily accessible to children. Providers that do not comply with their child safety duties by deliberately promoting the use of VPNs could face enforcement action under the Act.
The noble lady for that answer. But my lords, ChildNet has discovered an increase in the use of VPNs by children in the last 3 months. While younger children are deterred by age verification checks, teenagers actively seek out and share methods to circumvent them. Many minors are downloading free VPNs applications which often monetize user data and expose devices to viruses. Also, by relocating to countries with little or no internet safety laws, children can be exposed to more extreme, illegal or unmoderated content. Perhaps children under 16 should be banned from social media altogether. So, what action will the government take to avoid the increased number of children using VPNs? And will they instruct Ofcom to follow the lead of the Australian E-Safety Commissioner and require that digital services check VPN traffic for technical and behavioural red flags that a user may be a child in the UK? Let's act sooner rather than later.
Well, we recognise the international efforts to better protect children online, including in Australia, and we are working with the Australian government to understand the impact of their policies, including that one. There is currently limited evidence on how many children use VPNs, and the government is addressing this evidence gap, and we welcome any further evidence, such as that you quoted, in this area to complement our understanding. And as you've seen in other areas, the government will ensure that we will act where we need to and that future interventions are proportionate and evidence-based.
My Lords, this is a complex and difficult area, and I often praise the work of Ofcom in implementing the Online Safety Act, and everyone thinks I'm applying to be the chair of Ofcom. I'm not. But I do think that Baroness Benjamin's suggestion is a very interesting one. A lot of research needs to be done. It would be interesting to see the VPN research. I think there's another huge gap in researching the technology that is used in our schools by EdTech providers and providing some kind of quality framework to ensure that this technology, how it collects data and so on of our children, is at least transparent and known about so that requisite action could be taken in the future.
The Noble Lord makes a very good point about the need for accurate research and evidence base, which allows us to take the right action. And as Noble Lords may have seen, Ofcom published a report this morning setting out a number of areas that it is looking at in terms of researching, for example, the use of VPNs by children, using all sorts of methods to look at that. And we should also look at both sort of technological solutions as well as sort of advice and guidance and the role of Ofcom in enforcing against the Online Safety Act requirements.
My Lords, whilst it's important, of course, that the platforms maintain the standards that Ofcom have set for them, does my noble friend the Minister also agree that the parents have an important role to play in all of this to make sure that the parental controls that are on those devices now are implemented in full? And isn't there more of a role for digital literacy for adults to make sure that they're keeping a proper eye on what their children are doing to make sure that they comply with the regulations?
Yeah.
My noble friend makes a very important point about the role of all of us in terms of using the technology that's available to protect ourselves and to equip ourselves to be safe online, and for parents to do that in respect of their children. I think it's also very important that we support, as government, the literacy campaigns both in terms of sort of digital skills, but also online safety. And government will play its part in supporting parents in that domain.
On the Radio 4 Today programme this morning, the Ofcom admitted that none of the 3 fines which have been levied so far has been paid. Is it not right that Ofcom should be encouraged to take much stronger enforcement action against those who do not pay by making it clear that within a very short time they will lose their right to appear on any screen in the United Kingdom unless their enforcement is fit for purpose?
I think we all agree that enforcement is an incredibly important part of the Online Safety Act. And the Ofcom's enforcement powers include fines of up to £80 million or 10% of qualifying worldwide revenue. We have been very clear as government to Ofcom that they have the government's full backing to take enforcement action. And so we are standing right behind them to do that as effectively as possible.
My Lords, the Minister says that the government is standing right behind Ofcom, and many of us very strongly support Ofcom's actions in fining people like the AVS Group for not observing proper age checks on their sites. But, my Lords, these fines are, as the Noble Lord Carlisle indicates, there's no point in having the files unless we have proper enforcement. What resource is the government satisfied that Ofcom has in order to pursue enforcement?
Well, we have ensured that Ofcom is resourced in order to implement its online safety duties, and have increased the amount available to them year on year, so that now they have 92. I think the budget is £92 million to support their entire sort of Online Safety Act responsibilities. So we believe that they have the resources they need to effectively implement and supervise the Online Safety Act.
Really following on from the comments of Noble Lords, I think to me it's quite clear that Ofcom do have a lot of the powers necessary to restrict underage usage, but seem to lack the will. That was abundantly clear, I felt, from the Radio 4 interview this morning. And I must admit, my experience in such matters is that the Ofcom leadership need to really understand the strength of feeling in Parliament, in this House, that they need to be more robust in enforcement. So will the Noble Lady, the Minister, agree to arrange a meeting with the Ofcom CEO and the key lords here today so that we can fully hold Ofcom to account on this?
The Noble Lord asks a good question about, or makes an important point about the strength of feeling here. And I think that is replicated here and in the discussions yesterday in the other House, or the Select Committee. I'm very happy to take forward his request to set up a meeting with Ofcom.
My Lords, I think it's a bit...
My Lords, given the Church of England's role in education, I welcome the age limits introduced for harmful material sites. However, it's very hard to police the use of VPNs, and thus education is likely to be needed in a great deal of cases, as well as enforcement. What role will Ofsted's new framework play in ensuring that statutory relationship, sex and health education is delivered effectively with regard to this matter?
Thank you very much for that question. I mean, I do know that in respect of the curriculum and assessment review, the importance of digital skills and media literacy was highlighted as an area which they recommended and which we will be responding to. In respect of the specific relationship education that he asked about, I will have to come back to him on that point.
My Lords, I think I commend my government for the action they're taking on the Online Safety Act. It's a bit rich for the party opposite, who dragged their heels for several years about the implementation of this. My Lords, I don't know how many noble lords here would know how to download a VPN and then choose a country round which they can get, which does have no age verification rules. And I am quite clear that there will be teenagers who can do this. So the question is, Is Ofcom researching this? Are they assessing these risks? And will they be bringing forward solutions to it?
My noble friend highlights the complexity of some of these areas and the importance of understanding exactly what's going on in terms of VPN use by adults, by children, and whether it is indeed used to circumvent the age assurance aspects of the Online Safety Act. And Ofcom, as it set out this morning, has many areas where it is researching the use of VPNs, and particularly the use of VPNs by children of all ages, older children as well as younger children.
Second oral question, Lord Black.